Welcome back. Today we're talking about what I call the big kill. Now, this is a trap that a lot of people can fall into. I've been victim to it myself many times. And it's basically how the casinos get you to keep coming back and keep losing your money. And it's also the same thing that allows these snake oil salesmen and con men and scammers to sell you bogus products. They promise the moon and don't deliver squat. They give you something that sounds like it might be possible, but when you get it and you actually try it out, you find out a different story. And what it is these guys are playing off from your greed. And it's this big kill mentality. Now, I find it interesting that if you were to get a 50% gain in the stock market for a year, you'd be heralded as a hero. Okay, the Wall Street Journal would be doing write-ups on you. However, you move into sports betting and suddenly 50% doesn't even make people blink. Okay, 100%. Who cares? All right, to really drive this mentality home that I'm talking about, I have these guys that I work with that I call them parlay guys. They like to bet on football parlays all the time. And a parlay is when you bet on multiple teams and every one of those teams has to beat the spread in order to win. Now, to give you an idea, a 3-team parlay gives a 6-to-1 payout. Okay, so the attraction is that you're going to win big. You lay $100 down on this thing, and if it hits, you're going to get $600 back. Now, the more teams that you add, the higher that payout gets. I think a 5-team parlay pays something like 20-to-1 odds. So you lay down that $100, and you're going to get two grand back. So that's the attraction. Everybody's going after that big kill. Now, the secret to beating this is to go the opposite way. Okay? I had a system that I called the semi-arbitrage, and instead of lumping a bunch of teams together and they all have to hit in order to win, I was lumping different bets together that would give me a small return but made it almost impossible to lose. So a real arbitrage is a bet against the favorite and the underdog where two different books disagree on the price. And that price difference is big enough so that you can lay a bet on the favorite, lay a bet on the underdog, and no matter what the outcome of the game, you end up winning. It'll be like 2, maybe 3%. But, this is the greatest investment ever because it's impossible to lose. Well, as a U.S. citizen, these things are virtually impossible to pull off, okay? You need to be able to move your money around in different sports books, and most of those sports books don't accept U.S. citizens. But the semi-arbitrage, while not being a full arbitrage, is pretty easy to pull off. I've managed to pull it off in the same sports book. I don't even need multiple books to do this. Now, what you do is I designed this for baseball, and you bet on the underdog, which is going to be like 2-to-1 odds, or somewhere in there. It's going to be plus money. And then you bet on the spread, or what I call the run line, on the favorite, okay, which is always negative 1.5. Now, that means that the favorite has to win by 2 runs in order for you to win that bet. Now, what you do with these 2 bets is you balance them out in an arbitrage calculator, and you end up making a small profit, okay? I would usually hit anywhere between 18 and 20. On the high end, I think the highest that I've ever got on one of these was a 22% return on my money. However, the only way to lose is if the favorite wins by 1 run. And for whatever reason, I can't explain it, I don't know why, but early on in the season, that doesn't happen all that often. it levels out as you get further into the season, like July and August. If you keep going with this strategy, eventually it's going to level out and you'll start to lose just like normal. But for the past 3 years, this has been working miracles, in April and May and early June. So this idea is beautiful, and I actually used it to turn $1,700 into $11,500 in just 2 months. That's pretty amazing. And if the story ended there, that would be completely awesome. However, unfortunately, this video is about the big kill and becoming a victim of greed. And unfortunately, that happened to me just like it happens to other people. I tried to adapt this idea to the NFL. And the problem was that I have a bunch of other ideas that I use in the NFL as well, and they're all based on from chase systems. Now, with chase systems, you bet $100, you lose, then you bet $200. If you lose again, you bet $400, and so on and so forth. And the idea is to eventually score a win. Now, that win erases all of your losses and gives you a small profit. Well, the problem with the chase system is sooner or later, your back always gets put to the wall, and you have to go all in, risk everything, and if you win, you come out looking like a genius. If you lose, you come out looking like a fool. Well, here's the thing. I had designed a semi-arbitrage for the NFL. My back hit the wall, and I went all in, and I came out smiling. Great, that's awesome. Okay, a few weeks later, back against the wall again. I used the semi-arbitrage, boom, miracle. I kept coming out of it. Okay, I did this like 3 or 4 times, and I just kept on coming back. It was like a cat. I had 9 lives. It was awesome. It was great. However, eventually my number did come up, and boom, lost everything. Okay, that's what chase systems do. And there are people out there that sell these things knowing that they don't work, but they sell them anyways. Okay, and it's not that a chase system cannot work. It's that it's trying to do something that in most situations is mathematically impossible. It deals with something called negative expectation, or negative expected value. We call it EV for short. When you have a positive EV, the slang for that, we usually call that the edge. Okay, professional bettors are always looking for an edge, and the difference between amateurs who use chase systems and professional bettors is professional bettors are constantly obsessed with keeping and maintaining an edge. So the big secret for this time around is that the big kill mentality will bankrupt you. You need a mathematical system that is controlled and executed the same way every time, so that you're less likely to lose because it's based off from positive expected value. All right, we'll catch you in the next video.